Hi everyone and happy Monday. Welcome to another Johanna Basford Planner page. Today we have this lovely picture from Lost Ocean, the two seahorses, which is always a sort of favourite I think of a lot of people. Now we have quite a lot of detail on the bodies of the seahorses, and I figured that it's quite, with this sort of slightly smaller page, it's a little bit tricky to do all that detail, so I'm going to do the seahorses in a much simpler way and show you, and you can decide, sorry, just adjusting my pencils, whether you think that you like this method. I've got my Arteza Expert Pencils. I'm going to use the Passion Fruit Red for the seahorses. It's quite a bright colour, slightly vintagey red I would sort of say, but I've seen the seahorses done a lot in lots of colours, and I always tend to reach for a yellow or sort of goldy tones, but I thought I would just do them a little bit differently. I'm sure seahorses are different colours, and I think it's nice to try something different, so that's just why I picked this one. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting a layer of the red across the seahorse. I wish I'd started with the one on the other side, because I am leaning on the coils, which I don't like doing, but never mind, it is what it is. I'm going to do the whole seahorse apart from the eye. We'll deal with the eye at the end, just giving my pencil a sharpen. And then once I've got a layer over the whole seahorse, I will do a little bit of detailing in some places just to highlight certain areas. It's going to be quite simple. I think that can make it fun, and I'll show you what I plan on doing on the whole page, but I won't colour it all on video, so it'd be a bit boring. But also I've got videos planned for the next couple of days already, so this isn't going to be a sort of multi-parter. Our last few planner pages have lasted you know, across several videos, but this one won't be. Sorry, I shouldn't have coloured over that leaf. If you put your pencil on the side and colour like I am here, you get a more even coverage of colour, which is quite handy. I also find these Arteza pencils, I like them, but they're a bit, the barrels seem a bit thicker than some brands. I mean, obviously they're thicker than you know, Ergosoft or Very Thin or Pencils Black Widows, but I find they're a little bit thicker. They feel to me a bit thicker and different to hold even than polychromos or Prismas. I don't know if they are. I know Colour with Claire has this very fancy measuring device where she measures the thickness of the core and the leads and the whole pencil, but I don't have anything like that. So just to the feel, it seems to be more like, they seem to give me cramp more in my hand, but I think partly the shiny barrel, the paint, makes them harder to grip, so I think I grip them too hard. So we've got a basic colour here, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the main part. So we're going to start with this bit of the head. You see it sort of ends here, so I will come in a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. You can see it's quite basic, it's not that neat yet. Well, I'm not massively neat colourist anyway, but it will improve, I hope. So what I want to do is to put a darker line of colour just around the outside, and we're sort of ignoring Johanna's markings on here. As I say, it's a little bit complex for a picture this small. You can do all the detailing if you want to. I'm just trying to find a sort of easier way of tackling the page, which I think can make it more fun and less daunting. And I use this technique as well with books like Kirby Roseanne and Malponomy, Chats, the Circle of Life, and nature mandalas. I can usually get the name if I can see it. It's hard to pronounce. If you've got the book, you'll know who I mean. So the idea is to just build up that layer of colour on the edge and then fade it into the centre. You could do this with several colour pencils, so you could use the darker one on the edge and lighter ones towards the centre, but really it's much easier just to use one and quicker than keep switching and swapping all the time, but it's up to you. So there is the head. That looks a little odd. We'll just do that a little bit. Now with the what's this? I don't know. I'm going to make it significantly darker here and here, and less in the centre to start with. So what I'm doing, I know I said I wasn't going to do too many fiddly details, but just on this bit, I think it looks nice. Now you can just pick a few bits out to do a little bit more detailing on, and I've just particularly chosen this. I feel like it looks like a crown. I know it isn't. Now for these, I think I'll just fade upwards, and then the bit that I've just done still stands out, but these look like I paid a little attention to them. Now we've got this little section here, and I think I'm going to go in dark here and then just fade it towards the edge. Again, nice and simple. So just keep building those layers up and bringing them gently down like that. Now if you want lots of paper covered, you can use a blender or a burnisher to get less white paper showing through, but I'm okay with that. Now the main body, we're going to do the same as that head section, but it's a lot bigger. Let's try and get it all in shot. There we go. So where should we start? Let's start at the top and make it darker all the way along the back here. Yep. Oh, sorry. That's the container the pencils come in, the plastic. It makes a bit of a scratchy, scrapey noise. I'm sorry for that. I don't think it's very pleasant. I do like the trays, for the red trays that the Artezas come in. They seem much better quality compared to the Castle Arts pencils, which I think price-wise they're probably quite similar. So that's interesting. In fact, I opened a set of Castles just the other day, which I'd been given, and on taking the tray out I immediately broke it. Just a little bit, not enough to sort of stop me being able to use it. I think along this bit I will just do a hard line all the way under here and then start to fade that as well. So yeah, so I don't think they're quite as good. They also fit in and out of the trays much better. I feel like the Castles, particularly their newer one series, which the pencils seem slightly thicker, it doesn't feel like they've made the trays any bigger, so they seem to not fit really nicely into the tins and that sort of thing. It's a little bit strange, but I know a lot of people like their pencils in a pencil case anyway, so the tin doesn't really bother them, but personally I don't like pencil cases. I do like pencil cases, some, but not the ones with the elastics in. I find it just takes too much time getting the pencils in and out. I just can't be bothered with it, and I don't know, am I just lazy? I feel like I'm the only person. My husband doesn't like them either. He's got the Derwent pencil wrap, which he bought a long time ago, and he just never uses it because he just can't be bothered with getting them in and out. And he likes he likes to have his pencils in the order that they came in the tin. He's a bit of a stickler for that. It does make me giggle. But anyway, he likes that, and so he wouldn't want to sort of move them out of the tin, you know. Okay, so when I'm colouring this bit, I'm thinking of what to do with the rest of the page. Now obviously we've got lots of leaves, Now, do we do them green? I'm thinking probably yes. Although it's about time I started being a bit more daring, do you think, and not always doing green leaves? Maybe? So maybe we won't. Maybe we'll do something different. We need some colours which go with this red. So as I said, this is a passion fruit red. I rather like the colour. I like the sort of muted browniness of it, sort of vintagey style colour almost. There we go. Now we've got to do this bit. I'm thinking I'm going to go all the way around this edge bit in a sort of dark layer, and then those central bits we'll do a little bit differently. Got my son home this morning off college. He's doing some maths revision for his I think he's got his end of year exam on Monday. So he's doing some practice questions. He gave them loads of past papers to look at. Apparently the 2019 Maths A level was so difficult that the examining board had to send out an apology, and the pass mark was really low because they said it was just much harder than normal. So he didn't choose to do that one. I thought was, he had a look at it. He said, "Oh, this first question's easy," and then he went, "Gosh, that's hard. That's hard. That's hard." Yeah. So I think it's difficult for kids because some of them, if they see hard questions, they go into a panic. It's not very good for their exam. For their sort of nerves. Now the eye we haven't done. Now I like the centre of the eye to be black, so I'm going to grab the black. Just going to find it. It's the whoops! I just drop it. It's the Noir, and we'll just do this. Oh, it needs a sharpen. It's a little bit too blunt. There we go. Now we've got the sort of iris bit around the edge of it as well. I'm not sure whether to just do that in the passion fruit, but I had this idea, which I'm going to try, of doing it in the Garnet red, which is a darker red. And if you don't like this, then you can just do it in the passion fruit. But I'm thinking I put a darker layer there and then sort of fade it round a little bit so it looks a little bit shiny. I don't know how well you can see that. Hopefully that works. Now we have florals. Let's come out a little bit. You don't need to see all of it at the minute. So we've got this one and this one. It's obviously a mirror image. These two look very similar, and this one look similar. So I'm thinking we could vary the colour a little bit just to add a few more colours onto the page. So do these two in the same colour and then those two in the same colour. So I'm just trying to think about what colours to do. Now we've got, because of the red colour I've chosen, I'm sort of thinking it doesn't really go with pinks and purples. So I think we might need to go on to more our oranges. And I'm thinking the blood orange might be quite a good colour. And I'm going to do this one. I'm not going to do both. This one's like a simpler version of this. So I thought if I do this one, then the other one will be the same, really. So let's come in. There we go. And I'm not going to do the centre. I'm thinking I might just do the centre yellow. Now we've got our outline. I'm going to ignore that, I think, and just go straight in with lots of layers of colour near the centre. Like that. And just fade it towards the tip. The centre, I'm thinking I might just do yellow, just to make it look a little bit different. Just because we've, it's quite a simple picture, especially now I've really oversimplified the seahorse. So if we can add a second colour, it might just add a little interest on the page. Now, the next set of petals, these would be in shadow here from these ones. So I'm going to pop in a dark layer before I start. And again, just less towards the tip, and really the same for every petal. Now the Artezas do leave some white paper behind. You know, you can see it through. You can go over the lighter area with a yellow or a lighter orange shade to eliminate that, or you can use a blender, or you can just leave it and not worry about it. So it's really up to you. I think I am going to pop a lighter colour over just to show you what it looks like, and then you can decide whether it's something you want to do. So we're nearly done. Sorry, I hope you can see. I'm probably putting my big hands over the top of it. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is, rather than going for a yellow centre, I'm going to use an orange. I'm actually going to use this orange for the tips of all of the flowers. So basically doing a hard layer over the tip and then fading it towards the other end of the petal, and it will blend into the blood orange and eliminate more of the paper that we can see. It won't take away all of it unless you press down really, really hard. I'm okay with having some. I think we're all different in what we like with regards to that. There we go, and the centre. I'm just going to leave it really hard, solid middle. Now that actually looks a little bit dark, that centre. Oh, I'm just going to see if I've got a pen to lighten it up a bit. No, I don't have one in here. I would put maybe a few yellow dots around to lighten it a bit. Now we have this one down here, so I'm quite thinking we'll go with the same sort of palette, so but maybe a paler colour. We have a few lighter oranges. We have the marmalade orange, we have the peaches and cream, and the apricot. They're fairly similar. I think the marmalade is slightly darker, so I'm going to use that one, or else I think it might just disappear because we haven't got much pastel going on. And I'm going to use the same colouring technique, you know, darker at the base and lighter towards the tip. Now we have leaves on this page too. Oh, sounds like we've got loads and loads of post coming through, which is interesting. I don't know if we were expecting anything. Still, I shall go and have a look in a minute. Okay, so there's that one. It is quite a lot paler. I think it'll be okay. It just looks different. So I'm not going to add any more to that. I think I'm just going to leave it. Now the leaves, let's come out so you can see. We have lots of leaves, but they're all, as far as I can tell, joined together. So we have this bit down here and it curls all the way up here and all the way up here. I think that bit is separate, but the rest of it is all joined together, so I think it would all be the same colour. And I think if we do it all the same colour, it will help to frame the rest of the picture. So I would choose a couple of, I'm thinking, do we go bluey green leaves, or do we go, no, I think I will pick this one. This is the Fern Green, and I'm going to use that in conjunction with a much lighter green, probably the Matcha green. Okay, and I'll show you what I would do is I'll do the Fern Green for, I'll do the Fern Green for all the stems. I was thinking of doing the lighter one and then the dark one on the edges, but I've looked at them and they're too narrow. So I should do the dark green on all the stems, and then I shall add some of the lighter one on the leaves. So I'm going to show you a little bit to get you started, because they're also similar. I will just show you the one. Let's do the one under here. this one here. So the stem here, as I say, do that in this Fern Green. Now the stem sort of continues into a leaf, but I'm going to take that colour across all the leaves. And then just sort of start to fade it bit by bit. Like that. And then take the Matcha green and go from the top downwards. Just going to give it a sharpen. There we go. It's quite a nice colour actually. I really like this one. So I'm pressing hard up at the end here like I did down at the bottom there. I've got a tiny curl here. I'm just going to do carefully. And then we'll start to fade it as we meet the other colour, and then they can blend together like that. And then I will go back to my Fern Green and do a little more just to finish it off. These are nice for blending. You can see they sort of disappear into each other, which is rather good. There we go. Let's just give that a sweep so you can, it's a bit bitty, isn't it? There we go. So those are all the elements. Oh, sorry. Try not to be too scrapey. Bar one, we have a little gemstone here. Now what I think I'd like to do is a really deep, a sort of crimson red, I think, for that. So I've got this one, and what I'm actually going to do is just put it down really hard around the edge, like this, and then a bit lighter on the top to make it look like it's shining. And I might go around the edge of it in a sparkly red gel pen just to make it shine. But I haven't got one here, so I can't show you that. Now, that's quite pink, isn't it? Oh well, you might want to use a more reddy red, like a rose red or something, or even a carmine red. But anyway, but there are all the elements of the page for you. Now I'm going to disappear off and finish this. It'll take me a little while. And I will share a finished picture if I don't get time to finish it before the video goes out. I probably will, and I'll put it at the end of the video, but if I don't get time, it'll be on my Facebook page, so it'll be there. So there we go, that's that one all done for you. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a really lovely Monday. I hope that was fun. Thank you very much for watching, and happy colouring.